Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here for Tapping Tuesday. Welcome. Wow. I don't know about you, but there's just been a lot of crazy things happening right now, right? If you look at the news, which I try not to do most of the time, but it's inevitable, that we're gonna find out what's happening. Even if you don't watch the news, but if you're on social media, you're gonna find out what's happening. And it's not a matter of not being in awareness of what is happening in the world, because obviously we can't just ignore and pretend stuff is not happening. That's living in a whole different reality. But it is a matter of choosing what you consume, right? So choosing whether you're going to consume the news, consume what's in social media, and how you respond to what is going on in the world right now, right? There's just a lot happening right now. I mean, from issues in Afghanistan to we're still in a global pandemic, to everything that's happening right now. There's a lot of division. And so sometimes it's really easy to feel as if we don't make a difference, feel overwhelmed by the weight of the world and what is happening in the world, right? So if you are someone who's an empath or you're very sensitive to the energies out there, you may be feeling a little bit of hopelessness and wondering like what the F is going on in the world, right? Like almost like this desire to, like go crawl somewhere and, pretend that nothing is happening. Like sometimes that's what it feels like, right? That need to just disconnect and unplug. And so I've been kind of, for myself, really playing with this idea, not playing, but really asking myself, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to add my energy to the world? How am I supposed to live in this world and walk in this world? And at times, like I get angry at what I see. I get like I just want to vent. I want to go out and just put everything out there about how I'm feeling. And a lot of the times I refrain from doing that because I ask myself, is that going to contribute or is that going to add fire to the fuel of the division, the hate, the negativity that is swirling right now? And so I've been trying to be more present to what I can bring, and so I asked myself the question, like, who can I encourage today? Who can I support today? How can I be love in the world today? How can I be light in the world today? Right? So really asking the questions that empower me to bring my best self to the world, as opposed to bringing the part of me that is angry and upset and like the part of me that doesn't understand why things are happening the way they are, and this desire to want to, argue with people who have different views. And like I was just actually thinking the other day how I claim to be someone who is very middle of the way type of person, and really I try to honor and respect where everybody is with their thoughts, beliefs, systems, all that kind of stuff, right? Because I don't know any more than the next person does what's best for them. So, unless they ask my opinion about, unless they're a client and I'm doing a session with them or a friend and they ask my opinion about something, most of the time I really want to honor where people are in their journey. With that said, it doesn't make it easier for me not to want to engage. But at the same time, I felt like it's very interesting to observe who I claim to be, and sometimes the desires that I have to want to engage in a negative way. And really feeling kind of like, wow, I just noticed that, that I say that I am this person, and yet I'm being triggered by people doing whatever people are doing. And so I felt like, wow, okay, this is really cool for me to observe, because that means I'm out of my center, right? When I am in rejection and judgment of another for what they choose, then, I'm out of alignment with myself. Like, who am I being in this moment? What am I choosing for myself in this moment? Why am I being over here being distracted by what other people are choosing? And this is not to say that, if you see injustice, or if you see, things that are happening, you don't do anything about it, but it really means like you do something from a place of you being in your center, you being in your heart, you being in the light of love, right? And so today, with everything that's going on, I felt like, what if we tapped in this, on this idea that we all make a difference, and with everything that's happening right now, and sometimes this anxiety, that we're collectively experiencing, and maybe this feeling of, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel paralyzed by everything that's happening right now. So therefore, I'm just gonna go do my own thing and pretend this is not happening, or I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon and just, be in the distraction of it all, right? So taking a step back and realizing that who I am makes a difference. And that difference can either create more chaos, or it can create a greater impact and change. And so again, that's a choice. And it is about being an awareness of what you're choosing in this moment, right? Who you're being in this moment. Asking yourself, how can I be love in this moment? How can I bring peace to this moment? And we may not be able to change what's happening across the world, but we can do our small part, whether it's maybe a donation to an organization, whether it's bringing awareness to something, but doing it so in a way that expands life and doesn't contract life, right? Because life is always contracting, expanding. And, sometimes our contribution to something can create a contraction in the world. So really putting yourself in a position where, before you react, before you get into, the chaos of the world, really asking yourself, what am I choosing right now? Am I choosing to be a contribution to life's expansion, or am I choosing to be a contribution to life's contraction? And, putting a hand over your heart and taking a breath before you engage, right? And really, truly being connected to your center so that you can make the most positive impact in the world. So we're going to tap on that and really just getting ourselves into a state of contribution, a positive contribution, okay? And really knowing that we do make a difference. We have the power to make a difference. And getting ourselves out of the idea that what's happening is too big for us to make any difference in the world, right? So the difference can start with the people you interact with, the people you communicate with, the people you're engaged with every day, right? Whether it's your family members, whether it's, your coworkers, just people in your own society, in your own community. Like, how are you communicating with them, right? So that's where you can begin to make a difference. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take a sip of water. And when you're ready, just take a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allowing for the breath to connect you back into your body. Relaxing your nervous system. Allowing for your thoughts to just float away as you become aware and become present to this moment. Become present to yourself, to your body, to your feelings, to your energy, to the space around you. And tapping into your body and just seeing, like, if you tap into this idea of making a difference, what happens when you think that? Like, what emotions come up? Do you feel anxious, overwhelmed, apathetic? Do you feel excited, joyful? And where do you feel that in your body? Do you feel a, tension or heaviness on your shoulders, like you're carrying the weight of the world? Or maybe a tightness in your chest, or in your throat, or maybe even in your solar plexus. So really feeling for whatever is your body is holding on to right now when you think of what's happening in the world and your ability to be the change you wish to see in the world, right? And on a scale from 0 to 10, how intense does that feel? If it's a overwhelm, like, does it feel like a 9 or a 10 or an 8? 0 being like, I feel elated to be the person who makes a change. I don't know many people who are experiencing that right now. So if you're there, then amazing. I'm glad that you're there. But if you're not there, like many of us are not there, this is really the great place to be. So when you're ready, we're going to start tapping on the side of the hand. And we're going to say, even though there's just so much happening in the world right now, and I feel in a state of overwhelm, and you can even add your own word here, whatever it is that you're feeling right now. And sometimes I just don't even know what to do. I feel hopeless. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though sometimes I look at the world and I feel hurt and pain and sadness at what's going on right now. And I feel I can't even make a difference. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though everything that's happening in the world right now feels so heavy and big and overwhelming. And sometimes I just want to run away from it all. I have my own problems to deal with. I love and accept myself anyway. Top of the head. All this stuff that's happening in the world right now. Top of the eyes. It makes me overwhelmed. Side of the eye. It makes me feel sad. Under the eyes, it makes me feel hopeless. Under the nose, I'm just one person. Under the mouth, how can little old me make a difference? Collarbone point, sometimes I get angry. Under the arms, and I just want to debate with people. Under the chest, and I get triggered. Wrist point, and I don't understand what is happening in the world. Top of the head, and it makes me so mad. Top of the eyes, it makes me feel so sad. Side of the eyes, why can't everybody just get along? Under the eyes, why is there so much hate in the world? Under the nose, how can I make a difference? Under the mouth, it's all too much. Collarbone point, I feel sad. Under the arms, I feel heaviness in my chest. Under the chest, I feel like it's too much to carry. Wrist point, I wish somebody would just do something already. Okay, take a breath here. Whew, wow, I felt emotional there for a moment. And it's okay. It's okay if you're feeling this way too, you know? It's okay if you look out in the world and you see the destruction of the environment, you see, you know, people right now in Afghanistan just really suffering. You know, we see the division happening right now between people who, you know, vie for the vaccine and people who don't want to vaccinate, and it's just so much happening, right? And sometimes it's kind of like, how do I make a difference here? And take a breath, you know, take a breath. Know that everything that's happening right now is happening for a reason. And if you're here right now, you know that you're being called to be the light in the midst of all this darkness. And it's not some kind of spiritual bypassing bullshit. You know, it's not just to kind of like go on about your life and pretend everything is great and, you know, nothing is happening out there. But it is about choosing, making that choice, right? The world is filled with people walking around in trauma, right? We're experiencing collective trauma right now, collective pain. And we have our own stuff to deal with, right? So it's kind of like, shit, now I have to deal with the stuff that's out there in the world too. But this is like how we become resilient in the face of pain, in the face of hate, of fear, right? We become resilient by tapping into our own inner strength so that we can be the ones who are out in the world making a difference. So just check in back in with your body. Like, where are you now? How do you feel? You may still feel a lot of heaviness, and that's okay. We'll keep tapping on this. You know, maybe what you were feeling before have shifted, or it came, you know, feel a little lighter. But we have to address the emotions, right? First, we have to really talk about how we're feeling, how we're carrying all this stuff before we can move on, right? To letting go of some of this stuff. And this is what we're going to do in this next round. Let's start releasing some of this energy that we're carrying, some of this heaviness that we're carrying, so that we can walk out into the world with lightness in our being, okay? So when you're ready, just take a breath. Start tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I still feel a little bit of heaviness in my body, you can name your, wherever you're feeling this in your body. I know that I'm here to make a difference. And I want to be able to release this heaviness. And I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I may feel like I'm walking in a landmine at times, I'm going to thread lightly. And I'm ready to release some of this energy right now, some of this darkness that's plaguing me and plaguing the world. And I'm choosing to give myself permission today to be the one that makes a difference, a positive difference. And I release the heaviness that I've been carrying. That's not even mine. Top of the head. I'm curious about what would it be like to walk around this world being the light. Top of the eyes, being love. Making a difference. Under the eyes, and not taking anything personally. Under the nose, and just releasing all this tension and this overwhelm. Under the mouth, and being the love that I came here to be. Collarbone point. I know there's a lot of heaviness still in the world. Under the arms, but I don't have to participate in it. Under the chest, I don't have to give it energy. Wrist point, I can choose something different today. Top of the head. And even though I know I live on this planet, top of the eyes, and I know I'm part of everything that's going on, side of the eyes, how I contribute to it, under the eyes, it's truly my choice. Under the nose, and I don't have to give in. Under the mouth to the chaos. Collarbone point, I can empower myself. Under the arms, to choose a different way of being. Under the chest, to choose to create a different reality. Wrist point, for myself and for those who are choosing the same. Top of the head, I can choose to be love. Top of the eyes, I can choose to be light. Side of the eyes, I can choose to be peace. Under the eyes, I can choose to be healing in this world. Okay, take a breath. Whew. Oh my goodness, I am getting so emotional today. Because it's true, you know? It is true. Like, we get to choose. We get to choose. We don't have to participate in this chaos. We don't have to look at the world and say, this is my reality. We can look at it and say, this is a reality. Yes, this is happening. And I don't have to participate in the reality that I see. I can be over here participating in creating a different reality. And really bringing that vision, like setting the intention, I create the reality, and where every person in this world experiences kindness, experiences love, experiences peace, experiences a whole deep level of healing. I get to create that. You may not know how. You may feel like overwhelmed by the possibility of like, how do I bring this to the world? How do I create this reality? You don't have to know exactly how, but you can choose. It's in the choice. I'm going to choose this. Because it's in that choice, it's setting that intention that you then get moved. Your actions come from that intention, right? How you choose to be in the world, how you choose to participate, how you choose to engage, how you choose to bring love to the world. That comes from your intention to do that. That's the only way we're going to create a different reality. By healing our own shadow, right? By healing our own pain. And then going out into the world and helping people do the same thing. Not by coercing them, not by forcing them to believe in what we believe in, but being the possibility of something different, right? We get to be the example of a different reality if we choose. I'm very passionate about this, if you can tell. All right, let's go ahead and do another round right now. And let's affirm that I make a difference. I make a positive difference in the world, okay? So take a breath. And we're gonna just go ahead and jump on the top of the head. Who I am is love. Top of the eye. Who I am is positive contribution. Side of the eye. I make a difference in the world. Under the eyes. I get a choice. Under the nose, I get to choose the reality I get to experience. Under the mouth, I get to choose the reality I live in. Collarbone point. Who I am is love. Under the chest, under the arms. Who I am is light. Under the chest. I am of spirit. Wrist point. I am God energy on this planet. top of the head. I get to bring that God energy to my relationships. Top of the eyes, to my interactions. Side of the eyes, to myself. Under the nose, I get to bring that God consciousness to the planet. Under the nose, by simply choosing it. Under the mouth, and by being my most authentic self. Collarbone point. I make a positive difference in the world. Under the arms, I make a positive difference in the world. Under the chest, I make a positive difference in the world. Breathe that in. Wrist point. And so it is. Just take a breath here. You make a positive difference in the world. I want you to believe that today. I want you to know that today. I want you to choose that today. Okay? I want you to report back to me how you chose to do that today. How did you go about your day today being the love that you are? And when you feel moments of hopelessness, or if you feel moments of uncertainty of, like what's going on, hand on the heart, and just ask, how can I be love today? Who can I send love to today? Where can I make a difference today? Okay? I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to make a contribution to you today. And you made a contribution to me as well. So much love. Until I see you next time, just remember, you make a difference. Love you all.